The U.S. Bill of Rights, presented by Citizen Genius. The Bill of Rights is the name of the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Before examining each amendment, I'll give some background information. After the delegates to the Constitutional Convention wrote the Constitution, it was sent to the states to be ratified, or approved. People called Federalists supported the Constitution, while Anti-Federalists opposed it. The Anti-Federalists tried to convince the states to reject the Constitution by arguing that it did not place specific limits on the government's power and it did not protect people's personal freedoms. The idea of adding a Bill of Rights became popular among the American people, and so the Federalists agreed to add one after the Constitution was ratified. Pause the video to read more about this. In the first session of the U.S. Congress, Representative James Madison introduced a series of changes. After debate in the House and Senate, on September 25, 1789, Congress sent 12 amendments to the states to be ratified. 3/4 of the states ratified 10 out of the 12 amendments, and so those 10 went into effect on December 15, 1791. The Bill of Rights starts with a preamble, and then the 10 amendments are listed. I'll give a brief overview of each amendment. The First Amendment provides 5 freedoms, including the freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. The Second Amendment provides the right to keep and bear arms. The Third Amendment says people can refuse to allow soldiers to stay in their homes in peacetime, and people can only be forced to house soldiers in a time of war if a law is passed. The Fourth Amendment prevents the government from engaging in unreasonable searches and seizures of a person and his or her property. To conduct a search, a warrant is needed based on probable cause. The Fifth Amendment gives 5 rights. It says people accused of federal crimes must be indicted by a grand jury. It protects against double jeopardy, meaning that once a person is found innocent of a crime, he or she cannot be put on trial again for the same crime. The Fifth Amendment says that a person has the right to remain silent when asked if he or she has committed a crime. This is referred to as pleading the Fifth. It also says that people cannot have their life, liberty, or property taken away without the proper legal procedures being followed. Finally, the Fifth Amendment says that the government can only take away private property for public use, and the government must pay just compensation to the property owner. The Sixth Amendment deals with criminal prosecutions. An accused person has the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury where the crime occurred. An accused person also has the right to know the charges against him or her, the right to confront witnesses, the right to present his or her own witnesses, and the right to have a lawyer defend him or her. The Seventh Amendment gives people the right to a jury trial in any civil case involving more than $20. The Eighth Amendment prohibits excessive bail or fines, and forbids cruel and unusual punishment. The Ninth Amendment makes it clear that people have additional rights that are not specifically listed in the Constitution. The 10th Amendment says that any powers that are not given to the U.S. government in the Constitution belong to the states or to the people. As a final note, let's briefly examine the 2 proposed amendments that did not become part of the Bill of Rights, as mentioned earlier. The first would have established rules for congressional apportionment as the U.S. population increased. The second proposed amendment that did not become part of the Bill of Rights was actually ratified in 1992 as the 27th Amendment. Since members of Congress determine their own salaries, this amendment says pay changes for members of Congress take effect after an election for representatives occurs. This has been a short overview of the U.S. Bill of Rights, presented by Citizen Genius.